What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell.
Because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Around and live for its canals, bikes, coffee shops, and of course, the red light district. But how do young people here spend their free time, get around, and live?
Let's see.
Meet Cosmo, a 19-year-old student born and raised in the Dutch capital. Today, he'll be showing us what his life in Amsterdam is like.
Goedemorgen en welkom in mijn appartement in Amsterdam. Or good morning and welcome to my apartment in Amsterdam. Come with me.
Alright, so before we get started, I want to just throw up my first top 3 things that I believe you do on a regular basis. And believe me, by any means, this is not a stereotype. But from what I've learned, he's definitely going to get him a nice bread. I don't know what type of bread he's going to have, but it's going to be bread because that's a huge thing in the culture.
Right.
He's getting on his bike to go get the bread.
Okay.
And he's going to hang with his friends.
Right.
He's
he
a
seems
student.
like a walker, though. He seems like a walker.
Oh, that is the walking. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Let's see.
And watch out because the stairs are very, very steep.
There's a lot of steps.
So welcome to our house in the city center of Amsterdam. My mother actually lives up these stairs.
More steps?
And then I live here. So this is my flatmate. His name is Baby. He's kind of the party animal around here. And I have a very small kitchen. And I have a very small bathroom. Very, very small. But I'm happy that at least I have my own bathroom and my own sink where I can wash my face in the morning.
Heard that.
Usually I just start out by having some fluffy white bread. I would just slather this in a lot of butter. We are gonna slather everything. Usually I wake up maybe 15 minutes because I have to leave. So this is the quickest thing I can do to really get the nutrients in. Hagelslag. It's basically just chocolate sprinkles.
In 2023, Amsterdam was one of the most expensive cities in Europe to rent in.
I've never moved. This is where I've always lived. So most people that I know that are maybe even 25 or 30 still live with their parents just because they cannot afford living somewhere in Amsterdam.
The average monthly rent for a furnished one-bedroom apartment.
I already know it.
Okay, so he said that the average person lives with their parents because they can't afford it. So is that the only reason, or is it the norm for your children to continue staying with you regardless of their age? Because in our culture, we have this thing where they push you out.
Yeah, push out the nest.
House, you know? And we're kind of taking it back. Like, no, stay here as long as possible.
Which is pretty interesting. I was going to speak on that too. I think it's okay for the child as they're growing to kind of still have that space with the family and the household, because you know how life is. Sometimes the housing may be too expensive. Groceries they're not ready for adulting 1,000%. Yeah. They can collect their money from working and then in their future have all that savings until buying into a home. Yeah. And there's so many different revenues and avenues that you can go down to help with the child become better in life instead of just pushing them out there and making them figure it out. Ooh,
making them struggle.
The bumps on the head.
When they don't have to struggle.
Ooh, child, there's so much happening.
Hold up, wait, I had one more comment, baby. He said he's always lived there.
Yeah.
Because I surely was about to ask about the furniture. Like, because how y'all get that?
3 flight, and that's real narrow.
Yeah, it's like somebody got to go up first and just push the thing up.
Yeah.
The sofa.
And then it's going to spiral too, look like.
The window, maybe? A back door.
Is there one?
Rent is 2,300 euros.
For me, I would never leave, you know, if I don't have to.
But now it's time for class. Luckily for Cosmo, his university is just a short walk away.
He's a walker.
When I finished high school, I was 17, and a lot of kids my age take a gap year, but I love being busy and I love doing stuff, so I didn't want to take a gap year.
Cosmo is now in his 2nd year of studying creative business. He hopes to work in media one day.
If I would look at myself in 10 years from now, I'd probably be living in Amsterdam with my partner, and I'd probably be telling stories in some way or another. So these are one of the canals in Amsterdam. A lot of people park their car here, but there are no fences. So one time my mother actually slid into the water when everything had kind of frozen over. And it was winter, and then a rescue team had to come and rescue her. But that's also one of the reasons why every kid in the Netherlands goes to swimming classes when they're very young. Yeah. Because things like this do happen. You know, you're always surrounded by water.
Lay it back.
You have to use a lot of force because the doors are very ancient. Okay, come on in.
I just don't see a sofa one up there.
No, I don't.
After class, it's time for a short break at home with his mother.
When I got pregnant, people told me, "What are you going to live? You can't raise a kid in the middle of the center." And I said, well, no, I'm going to stay here. First of all, I love living here. And I am sure by the time he is 14, 15, he will hate me if I would tell him that I left the house.
Cosmo and his mother share a close bond. His grandmother was born in Indonesia and also played a big role in his life growing up.
There are a lot of people who are Indies or Indo, and that is people who come from Nederlands-Indië, which is former Dutch Indonesia, like my grandmother, for example, who was born in Jakarta, which was called Batavia at the time. That's why you will find a lot of Indonesian people here, a lot of Indonesian restaurants, a lot of Indonesian shops, you know, so there's just a lot of Indonesians here.
In the afternoon, Cosmo travels across town to bring lunch to his friends, who are also the founders of a queer newspaper.
It started all as a school project, really, but we really felt the necessity of a LGBT plus newspaper in the Netherlands because there's nothing similar that represents the youth in LGBT in the Netherlands yet.
On the fourth page,
He said yet.
Cosmo story.
Okay.
He wrote it all by himself.
So that is very interesting. I think this is the first time the community has come up in the Netherlands, like in the content that we have been watching. And especially, you know, from us coming from the United States, we do have supporters who are a part of that community. So I'm glad that this did come up. So our supporters can know that, you know, there is some type of support there.
Yeah, the only thing that we talked about that was like kind of out of the norm was legal prostitution.
Oh, yeah.
And the red light. You know what I'm saying? That was something for a lot of people that didn't know about. So when they heard it, it was like, oh, wait, y'all actually allow that out there? So this is another topic, again, that's popping up that's probably new to a lot of listeners.
Right.
And he got a whole spread.
I was doing research on the hookup culture with dating apps in the Netherlands among queer youth, which is a very big thing. I mean, hookup culture is very big here, and I was very interested to see how what effects that has on young people in the Netherlands and in the queer communities.
In 2001, the Netherlands was the first country to legalize same-sex marriage, before Cosmo and many of his friends were even born.
We always want to improve, you know, but it is true that it's still a tolerant city, and that we are really spoiled in that way. But you know, there's always space for improvement.
And as long as there is space, we will push it.
So my main mode of transportation in the city is actually walking around. I love walking around. I know most Dutch people or people from Amsterdam, they cycle a lot. But whenever I can, I try to walk, if it's walking distance. And otherwise, I take public transport because it's actually free for students.
Dutch teens can drive when they're 18, but in Amsterdam, using a car isn't exactly convenient.
There are a lot of people in Amsterdam that live here that don't have a car at all because it's just a city that's very impossible to get through with a car because, as you can see, it's not really made for cars. It's made for boats and horse carriages. So having a car in the city can be a little bit dramatic if you want to get a parking spot. Also, parking is very expensive.
I haven't seen no horse carriages like this.
And a nice view. Or Texas.
So, proost.
Oh yeah.
Proost. Hey. And always look each other in the eyes.
Otherwise, you have 7 years of bad sex.
Yeah.
I think 18 is definitely a big age in the Netherlands because that's when you become an adult. You're able to drive a car in the Netherlands when you're 18. You're able to drink, smoke, whatever you want because that's when you become an adult. So it's celebrated.
Often associated with adult life in Amsterdam is the red light district.
It is actually the oldest neighborhood in Amsterdam, but of course most people know it for the window prostitution and for the coffee shops and everything. And across from me right now there's also a few windows with women standing in them. And we can't film that, but it's something that you grow up with in Amsterdam, and it's something that you respect. It's just a job, like other people are working a job, and you ought to be respectful to them and respect their decision in life.
The Netherlands has consistently been ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world, coming in 5th place in 2023. So how does a young adult like Cosmo feel about life in Amsterdam?
My least favorite thing about living in Amsterdam has to be the weather, and sometimes the people, because the people can be a little bit closed off and a little bit rude sometimes. I think my favorite thing about living in Amsterdam definitely is the sense of freedom that you get here, and also the versatility. I mean, the weather is versatile, the people are versatile, everything is just very versatile. So that's something that I really like. Amsterdam is definitely my home. I feel very at home here. I don't want to leave it. If I'd have to leave Amsterdam, I'd also leave the Netherlands, and I'd go to another bigger European city. It was so much fun having you guys over. Now we're just gonna chill this evening. Thank you so much for watching and have a good evening. Or dankjewel voor het kijken. Goeie avond.
Alright, y'all, we're gonna stop right there, man. Kriakfos.
Oh.
I probably said it. Sounded like it, huh? But it's another in-depth video. I feel like we get more into the culture and to see the realization of how everything works in, you know, the Netherlands, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, on a day-to-day basis, sound like mainly everything is walking distance. You guys sound like y'all have nothing that y'all can improve on. I'm pretty sure there's so much more y'all can improve on. Yeah. But just on a regular basis, it sounds like everyone's just smooth sailing, getting to and fro.
Yeah, they don't complain about it. Or the videos y'all have sent in, they don't complain about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always people comparing, which is always good. It's always good to get different perspectives. I feel like this was a different voice that we have not heard in the Netherlands so far. So that was interesting to learn about, you know, his growing up. And I did not know about the Indonesian population that they have. So that was good to know.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.